Hello and welcome to Healthy Knitting. My name is Rosie. Today is May 7th, 2014, and I recorded a couple days ago and I didn't have my healthy tip ready, so I left that one clip together and said I'll record another and just add it to it, and my computer shut down and there is no podcast. I don't know why I have so much trouble with the podcast and getting it actually uploaded, but apparently I do. So I have to redo what I did. And I have to, even though it's early in the morning, because I didn't want to wait. I really do have a lot of things to show you, and hopefully I'll have something finished. And I actually wanted to show you the in progress before I showed you it completely finished. So that actually will probably get done before I podcast next, which will be over the weekend some point. So anyway, thank yous. Thank you to people who commented and said the nice things that you did about my little tour of Italy for last podcast. It's really amazing when people can pull together and get things done. I'm truly amazed and inspired by all of my friends over there. And what's new and good? We'll just go into new and good. New and good is this past weekend was Beacon Open Studios, and a lot of my friends participate in that. Therefore, I didn't really see them on knitting because a lot of them also knit. So that was fantastic. I love Beacon Open Studios, and what it is the whole town this is the best town. Artsy music, great food, great people, just a wonderful community. Anyway, everybody gets together and who either lives in Beacon or has a studio in Beacon. And over the weekend, you show everything you've been working on recently or whatever you want to show to people. And you can sell your wares as well. And it's just truly inspiring. I have such incredibly artistic friends, and the people that live over there are just really amazing artists, and I'm grateful that they have this opportunity to show people, because otherwise you have to wait for gallery openings and studio openings and things like that, which they do second Saturday, but sometimes those people aren't always available to show everything. So it's great. One weekend you can see everybody doing their things. So that was really fun. It's interesting to be back. I have to say, since I podcasted a couple days ago, I've calmed down a little bit, but here comes Buddy. It's been really interesting leaving a house that had bare necessities and coming into a house that has just got way too much stuff. And it really was upsetting me for a while, and I was feeling like, more stuff needs to go. I need to give more things away. And it's kind of settled down a little bit. I mean, it's not like it doesn't need to happen, because it does. I'm sorry. I've got wool bats here that are going to fall into the computer. What was I saying? Oh, so I don't feel as overwhelmed anymore, Buddy. But I still know that I need to get more things into someone else's home who actually would like to use some of the things that I have. And I think that is one of the things I've learned also when I was in Italy, because people gave me furniture. They hang on to things in Italy. Most of the people don't just throw things away. They hang on to it. They give it to people, family member. They may use it again. So I got furniture like you wouldn't believe from people. Little doodads, things that they didn't need anymore. And I'm hoping to do the same thing. FreeCycle is a way to do that, but I think I'm going to use my friends first and excuse me, just see what people need and give it away to my friends first, and then FreeCycle. Or I'm not really too into Goodwill or Salvation Army anymore because of the political ends of things, their philosophies, and the money structure. And there's other organizations that I feel that I can give away more local that would be better as well. And I did find one when what was I doing? I was doing something and I came across this charity, and I've given them extra blankets and some coats and things like that. And they're always looking for houseware setups for people because they help low-income people get set up. So, which is great because then they don't need to eat out, which costs more money. So if you can, the more you can eat in and curtail your expenses, that's a plus. Plus you can control what you're eating, which is much better as well. So I really like that idea. And also Big Brothers, Big Sisters will take items, and I participated in that and had a great interaction with my little. So there are other places, just seek them out, and some that are more local to you. So give that a whirl. What else did I want to say? I didn't write anything down again like I did before because I was thinking I wasn't going to have time, but this is always spur of the moment for me. It's like, okay, it's very early in the morning. It's not even 7 o'clock in the morning yet. I'm headed to the gym as soon as I finish recording, and then I have a full day ahead of me. So like, okay, I got a little bit of time. Let me get this done. So sorry I'm so off the cuff these days. Let's just get right into knitting, and if I think of anything that I wanted to tell you, I will. Oh, there is, which is so funny. I love how this happens. So the messages on the board, one of them came from Have Faith, and I always look at the name because Ravitar's changed. People change them quite a lot. I don't even have one on there. I know. I'm like, I have a really cute picture of Buddy sitting on my shoulder, and I'm thinking that would probably be a great picture to throw in there. I just have to remember to do it, and I just don't. But anyway, so I noticed her name, and then when I got home, I caught up on my podcasts. I could only watch a couple while I was gone. I really couldn't watch that many, and I have my favorites that I always watch. And then, so I got through those things, listening to, sometimes I don't even sit in front of the computer. I'll just have them on and I'll be listening. If there's something I need to run and go watch, I'll come and watch because I didn't really have a lot of time to sit still. So I was cleaning the house. But anyway, long story. You don't need to know all this. So when I found new podcasts, there's a blog I subscribe to that will tell me all these new podcasts. There were like 23 new podcasts since the last time I checked. So I started checking them all out. And sometimes I didn't have time to view the whole thing. So I just threw them into my reader. And that's how I do everything. I don't subscribe to YouTube. I go to a reader and I have it just there for me. It's easier for me to do that. Because if it's in an email telling me I have to go watch it, and I don't at the time, it's like all my emails. I won't get to it. It just doesn't happen. But a reader, when I have time, I'll be like, oh, there it is. It's all nice in one spot. So anyway, I'm listening to the podcast, and she said, my name is Have Faith on Ravelry. And I'm like, oh my God, you just sent a comment to me. So her podcast is great. It's called Stash Less, and she has an environmental tip at the end, which is fantastic. It ties right into the things that I feel very strongly about. So I actually wanted to send you over there if you hadn't gotten there from me, because she actually did plug me. Thank you very much, Karen. And that was something that I knew about, but I totally forgot. So I really think sometimes we need these little reminders that go, hey, you might have known about this 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but you haven't been implementing it and you forgot. So anyway, it's about power and using power strips in the on and off position to actually curtail any energy that's plugging into your device. That's when it's not in use, it will still actually draw energy. So we can save a lot of energy just by doing that. And that is a fantastic tip. And I thank you very much. So please go over to Stash Less, because she does have more really great tips, and I don't want to steal them all. So anyway, and I found it also very interesting because I talked about composting, and she was talking in the podcast you didn't see, and she was talking about setting up a compost, and she owns her own home now. And when I was in Italy, they recycle there, but they don't have a specific spot for food waste, which I wish they did. San Francisco does, and I really think everybody needs to take this model because it's pretty amazing. There's a very small amount of waste. Their whole uh, refuse refuge refuse cycle is amazing. It really is. And it was part of that movie, one of the trash that I watched, that I would really recommend that you watch, because once you see this movie, you will never look at your garbage the same again. You really won't. Um, yeah, it's a big problem. So when I was in Italy, I was recycling everything, anything that came into my house. If I couldn't use it over once, twice, or three times, it was a problem. And so even packaging, the refrigerator came in, it was all plasticed up, and I was like, "Can I take that plastic?" to the guy, "Prendo, prendo, I take." And he was fine with that, because what they're going to do is just throw it in the trash, whereas I might be able to use that for something. When I'm painting something and I need to have plastic on the floor, whatever, it's going to get reused. So, but the only thing that they didn't do was compost. So I actually bought a garbage can at IKEA that has a bucket that comes out, but it also has a flip top lid. So the odor gets stuck and you don't have to touch anything. You open the thing and there you can throw your food waste. Well, I live in a house and I have a piece of land, so I can actually compost, which is what I did after the dog left who ate my socks. Because otherwise he would have been in the garbage and it would have been bad, because he had already gotten into a few things and gotten a little bit sick, and it was not pleasant. So anyway, if you can compost, if you live in a house, or even they have them where they're in a bin, and again, I know it's plastic, but if the plastic bin doesn't ever, you can use it for 50 years, that's a different story than buying a piece of plastic that breaks and you're throwing it away the next day. So I have, we have this thing with plastic that everything just about is pretty much made with plastic. But we need to make sure that the item is actually going to last if it can't be made out of something else. Like, I don't store anything in plastic containers. It's all glass. You've seen that before. And I think that's very, very important. I want to go back to the compost. So anyway, with that, after the dog left, I had 2 weeks where I just had one bag of garbage this big. That was it. Everything else was recyclable or it was food waste. This was actual stuff that I could not use again, period. That was it in 2 weeks. So I really think you can cut back on your waste consumption if you recycle, and then if you actually even take the food out of there. Because once food hits a landfill, even though it's biodegradable, once you take the oxygen out of it and they bury it, it's going to make methane. And that totally defeats the purpose of it being a biodegradable object. So we don't need any more methane in the planet. It's really messing things up. So see if that's a possibility for you. Check that out and do your bit. Okay, so let's get on to knitting, because I have quite a lot of stuff to show you. Okay. The other pair of socks that I was working on for my friend Allison are in Italy. I left them there and I put them on waste yarn. But while I was on the plane and on the train, I started knitting another pair. Now, I could have actually finished this if I felt like knitting the whole time, because it doesn't take that long for me to make these. But I was reading a book which was very good. I had it on my Kindle, and then I realized, well, I could knit and read, so I was doing that on the train. Sorry, I've got something in mind out, which worked out really good. Those are Plain Vanilla Socks by Nitty Gritty Thoughts. You've seen these 100 times. Funny thing, when I was looking for the yarn to take with me, I told you I had a separate bin of yarn that I was going to take originally when I thought I was moving and I was going to need yarn for 6 weeks. It was in the bottom of this box I have down at my feet here, and I didn't realize it because it was buried. It was all the spring colors. And I'm like, why do I have all these dark colors? Where is the spring yarn? I couldn't find it anywhere. Well, that's where it was. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to make another pair of those, because I have some other stuff and I'm thinking of something else. I know. I just watched Stash Less, and I know I don't need any more yarn, but I did kind of buy some. Sometimes if I find a really good price on yarn that I know I really like and is going to actually be something that I can use in the future for just about anything, or a specific project in mind that I want to make, I will get it. Anyway, but not that I need any more yarn. Okay, my next knitting project. And I'm finding that I really like being a monogamous knitter because I can plow through a project. Once I put it down, I kind of feel like I've finished it already, even though I haven't. But in my head, I've finished it. And then that is where the problems happen. And I have things that red bag hanging on the door has a sweater in it that I think I started 2 years ago. And I'm almost done. I put the sleeves on, and all I have to do is finish the yoke, block the sweater, and I can wear it. So I think I might pop that on next, besides some other choices of yarn here that I'm going to show you. But anyway, this is called the French Can. Mademoiselle, I think her name was C, Mademoiselle C, something like that. Anyway, I bought this pattern a while ago specifically for this yarn, and I've already tossed the label because I showed it to you the other day. Oh wait, you know what? I have more in here because I bought 10 skeins of it. It's Mirasol Tupa. Sorry about the bad fingernails. That was really bad. Mirasol Tupa. I only just woke up a little while ago. I haven't even taken a shower yet, but I don't shower before I go to the gym because I'm a disgusting mess when I get back, and I don't want to waste water double showering, so I shower when I get home. This is a natural color, and I'm trying to look at the makeup of it. It's 50% merino and 50% silk. Kind of feels a little like cotton, but not like hard cotton, like really soft cotton. I think the silk is the soft part, and the merino is the spongy bitey part. So it kind of, I love that wool and cotton feel as well. I love when they mix together. So anyway, bought this yarn a while ago, and I bought the pattern for the yarn, and then I didn't do anything. Well, I started it Thursday night at knitting. I got back on Wednesday, started it Thursday, and I got home and I went to work on it Friday morning, and I was like, what were you doing? The ends weren't matching up correctly. You increase on each side, but you do them differently, and I had one kind on one side and one kind on the other, and I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So I ripped it all out. So this is a shawl. It is a half circular shawl, and I have it upside down because this here is the knit-on edge. And I've not done one like this before. I did Rock Island where you knit this bit first and then you pick up all the stitches and knit down to the end. Either way, I like them both the same. There's really no difference to me whether I knit the edge by itself or knit an applied edge. It's very simple. This pattern is very well written. Let me show you the actual knit-on edge. Isn't that pretty? I don't think all right, I'm just going to do this. I think you can probably see it a little bit better. I can only see through the holes. But it's going quickly, and it's kind of addictive. I just started this edge yesterday, last night. I was listening to, I had a lecture to listen to, and so I was like, well, let me just see if I can do this and pay attention to the lecture at the same time. And it's super simple. I don't want to say how many repeats it is or anything like that because this is a paid for pattern. I did make more rows this way than called for. You get to a certain part of the garter stitch, and she says you can either go over this and make it bigger or go under. I wanted it to be a little bit more wrappy because I didn't want it to fall down. So, and I have made shawls that were just a little too short. There wasn't enough weight around the other side, even with a pin, to keep it on. So I made it about, I don't know, maybe 30 stitches bigger, 27, 30, somewhere around there, just for a little extra. And I think it will block out nice. And this is, I wanted to make this because I bought a outfit when I was in Switzerland. It's super cute. It's a little blue skirt and a sleeveless blue and white type silk top, and I thought this would look really nice over that since it's a shell and there's no sleeves. So that is French Can, and I'm knitting this on size 7 needles. Okay, So that's all the knitting that I have. Oh, Catalora's over here. Last week, you got to see, 2 days ago, you got to see Karina, but now you don't because she's not showing up today. So I bought some yarn, and this is not from Italy. This is from my next door, my local yarn store. And this is right conveniently next door to the place where we knit on Thursday. And I happened to walk in because I haven't been in there in a month. I'm like, hey, what do you got that's new? Well, this is what's new. It's called Studio North Hand Dyes, and the person's name is Meg, and I met her a while ago, and she, right before I left actually, she uses Grainer shades, and it doesn't say on here, but I think that these are Grainer shades. They look like they could be Grainer shades because I've worked with the Grainer shades and I have the thing. So this is organic merino, and it's 247 yards, 100 grams, and it's called Plum, and it's it's anywhere from an Aran to because the stitch count is 16 to 20 on 4 for 4 inches. So it's anywhere from a light worsted to an Aran weight, I guess, depending on the needle size you use. I haven't obviously done anything with it. It's a beautiful color, and there was only one other, sorry, the light is bad. The light is bad already. There was only one other one in there, and I wanted to get this before they were gone because it's Grainer shades, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, it's really, although you can make the same colors, it may not be the same, and I thought it was really beautiful. I love purples and plums, and it's really nice and soft. So that'll make something nice coming up this fall. And then the other thing that she had that I was very interested in is this hand-dyed sock yarn called, the base is called Hearth. And I'm just trying to look. It's a little more green than what you're seeing. It's called Mushroom, and there is a little bit more green. There's a lot of variegation in color. And I don't mean like variegated yarn, but the color depth is beautiful. And this is superwash merino and nylon. And I would like to make a pair of pattern socks using this where you can actually see the pattern, because with the Aslan Trends, that was Aslan Trends yarn before, you've seen it 100 times, Santa Fe. You really can't make something with cables in it. They're going to disappear, you won't see them, and it won't be worth the effort. But these you can. So I'd like to do that. All right, so that's it for yarn. I made some yarn. Yes, I did. California Variegated Mutant. I bought this from Spirit Trail at Rhinebeck, a while ago, 3 years ago. And I bought a whole bunch of ounces of these. Maybe one day I can pull them all out and show you all the different things. I want to put them all together into something because there's only 1 ounce of each type. And so it'd be really fun to do something. Some are dyed, some are natural. And this is a 2-ply. It's not the greatest spinning in the world. When I got home, I just got the bug to spin. So it's long draw, and it's nice and squishy, and I like it. So I don't even know how many yards I have. I didn't even look. I didn't really care. Craziness. The other thing I spun, and I didn't do this before I podcasted last time, I did it after. I did this yesterday. This is on, what are these called? Trindles? I got the Trindle last year. Oops, get it in the better light. And this is fiber that I bought in 2002 at the Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival. Now, I'm going to talk about this wool because it was a little crazy. This is what it looked like when I bought it. This is the light part. It came in 2 parts. It had dark red parts like this, and it had this light part. And I separated the 2 in the locks, and my intention was to use my combs, which you can see behind me right here, and make some top. which is great for locks, which is kind of what I intended to do when I bought this. Not that I had the combs at that point, but you can actually use, you can actually comb out the locks, which I did last time on air to show you. This is what one of the locks looks like if you brush it out. And you can use a dog comb to do that. And then this was a little bit that came afterwards, that came out. These are the short bits. These are the pieces that are going to interrupt a nice spinning flow. The thing is that I don't know how they dyed this, because it's dyed, but it's full of grease. It's Cotswold Locks. I don't know if I told you that already. And I thought it would be really, really beautiful, but this was absolutely disgusting to spin. And this is, I made 4 little balls of top before I gave up. And it's kind of gross. Now, see, I have something else to show you. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be really looking forward to spinning with this, but I'm going to plug through it. I already prepared it. I bought the stuff. I'm going to see if I can actually work with it. So what else I want to tell you? I checked to see if these people were in business still, because this was absolutely horrendous. It was, like I said, not even clean, but dyed. So I think when I go to wash it, I'm going to have to put it in vinegar rinse or a citric acid bath or something. A lot of second cuts, multiple size pieces. So some locks were this long, some locks were this long, but they're still in business. And not only that, they actually produce award-winning fleeces. So perhaps since 2002, they have stepped up their game. And I wonder, because I did buy some Cotswold fiber. There's a purveyor that I saw at New York Sheep and Wool, and I bought Cotswold from them, and it was beautiful, and it's in my cabinet right now. I'm going to see if it's the same name. If it is, they have totally stepped up their game. I will not say who this is. It was really bad. I bought 6 ounces of it, and it was really bad. But, you know, back then I just like, oh, it's pretty. I didn't even, you know, like really look and pull it apart. So something to consider when you're buying fibers is to really look at it. Sometimes we look at the pretty and we go, oh my God, the colors are so gorgeous, but we don't look at the rest of it. So be forewarned. So there's the second color. So this turns into this in these little things that I can now, little pieces of top. Yeah, more of that to do. So anyway, I have a drum carder, and I decided to just card it all. And here are 2 of the bats in that light color. Oh, the light's really bad, you can't see. So they don't look so bad, but because they're multiple colors of everything, not multiple colors, multiple sizes of fiber, I just figured that would be the easiest way to deal with it. And here is the red stuff. I got 5 of these. They're not all the same size, but so they look nice, right? Yeah, they're sticky, which is not my ideal. I don't mind a little bit of grease, but a lot of grease, it makes it really sticky. This was tricky to spin actually, because I couldn't draft very well. Some of the locks were long, actually all of these were the same size because I did these on my 5-pitch combs. So they were pretty long, and to get them to slip past each other was a little bit tricky because they were so sticky. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably Andy and ply this, so I have a 2-ply. Do the same with those other little ones, and then just knit a small sample and see what happens. I'm going to show you my combs. I have 5-pitch combs. I got these. Did I get these last year? I don't remember. It might have been last year or the year before. These are my 5-pitch combs. I'm going to look for 2-pitch combs, and maybe for finer wool, and get that. This, although it does a great job, because I think I showed you the fleece parts of the fleece that I did last year. Yeah, I guess I did get these last year. And I had that Icelandic fleece, and I pulled off manually the long hairs and spun those into a rope, which, all right, great. I'm not going to knit a garment out of it, but I can do something with it, whatever. The second piece I put through the combs, and it was so beautiful. And the next bit, all the little stuff that got stuck in the back, I put through the drum cutter. And again, for woolen spinning, for that, it would be perfect. So I do like them. They clean things up really nice. They are a little unwieldy to work. They're big and lots of points, and you have to be really careful that the cats aren't anywhere around, because I don't really want to take an eye out for anybody. But I thought maybe smaller ones might be good if I have a little bit of fiber to do. Anyway, the other thing I did, this is fiber I had as locks, and I was going to make these. I forget what you call these things now. I don't know. That's little top ringlets. Anyway, this is mohair, and when I was in my spinning guild back in Vermont, so this is a long time ago, one of the ladies there had mohair goats. So I went to her farm and I bought a fleece, and then I actually dyed it with things from my garden, because I had an herb garden, and I had woad, which will make a blue, but will also make this pretty pink color. And so I dyed those, and I decided to, again, it wasn't even locks. There was some bench matter. There was some things that, it wasn't going to be easy to put through the combs, so I put it through my drum cutter. And it's beautiful, and I love spinning mohair. And so this, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's a lovely color pink. And then this was marigold, or not marigold, calendula flowers. And so that's all the yellow. Now, you've probably never even seen me pull out yellow before. I don't knit with yellow. I don't wear yellow. I should have just showed you that next to my face. All right, ready? Do I look dead or what? Yeah. I can't wear yellow next to my face. I can wear it other places, but I typically don't. I love yellow in flowers. I love yellow in paintings. I love yellow on paint on the wall. Not on me. So I might spin it and give it away to someone who really likes yellow. And this is funny because, well, gold doesn't count. Gold I can wear. Okay, so one of the other things that I'm considering spinning next, besides all of that, I got this at Spirit Trail a long time ago. Probably my first Rhinebeck. I might have gotten this. And it's greens and gold and like a pink. Oh my god, it's actually like the same color yellow. That's so funny. I don't think I realized that about the yellow then, but I don't think there's enough of it. Oh, well, the thing is, okay, this is what it looks like before you stretch it out. See how the color changes? I mean, how much softer it is once you kind of pull it apart a little bit for pre-drafting versus when it's all tight. It does change. So you notice the colors get really soft, and they really, once you spin them, then they really soften up. The color is very, very light. I did make some of this already, which is why it's already in pieces. I don't know where it is. It's probably downstairs in one of those bags, space bags. So that will get done soon. What else I want to show you? Okay, I guess that's it for spinning. Surprised there was any, right? You're like, you don't spin. I do, actually. I just need to get to it. So I thought I'd show you some of the things that I'm considering, some yarn I bought and I set aside that I was going to knit in the interim, so which would be now. It's all different now, but this is a yarn that I really, really like. It's Solstice by, I think it's Classic Elite. Is it in the Verde collection? Yes. And this is a purple, and I bought this to make something, and I can't remember what it is. I normally write this down on my Ravelry pages. Like, I'll write yarn wish list, and then I'll in the project I'll write the yarn so that when I buy it I can then link it to it. And I don't think I did that, so I have to search for it. I also bought this beautiful blue color, same thing, Solstice. And this I kind of remember what it is, but I don't know the name of the pattern off the top of my head. But it's like an open work cardigan type thing that you've already seen. This is also this is Solstice as well, and I have 2 projects that I want to make with this. There's 2 jackets. One is actually from Classic Elite, and I have that pattern already, and I bought the yarn like a while ago at Webb's. I haven't made it yet. And then the other one is a new one from Vogue, and it's another jacket, and I bought the yarn for that because it was on sale, and I just need to get to making it. Excuse me. Solstice is organic cotton and organic wool. Excuse me. Hang on. 70% organic cotton and 30% wool. It's not organic wool, but the organic cotton part is very important to me. We've talked about that before, because organic cotton is grown in such a way that it doesn't have as many pesticides, and it's better for the environment, and it's better for the people who actually grow the stuff and have to deal with it. And so I don't buy cotton unless it's organic cotton. There are times when I'm tempted, believe me, but I have to stick to my parameter and say no. Because when I was finding things for the house, there were some beautiful placemats, and they weren't organic cotton, and they were the right color, and they were right everything. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to. Guess what? When I went home, I found them here, made in linen, which is what I bought for over there to do some tests of things and see if the color was right. So I'm going to make slip covers made out of linen, and it's a little bit less, it's a little more environmentally friendly than cotton. So yeah, if we just hold out, you're going to find what you're looking for if you make that your goal. So I did find some of that. I didn't buy it yet, but it's, at least it's there. I know it's there. And I found some other things that were, I don't know if we'll have time to talk about it. It's 37 minutes already. Okay. So anyway, let me just keep going with the yarn. This is Seedling, and this is also from Classic Elite, and it's 100% organic cotton. And I just love this color. It's a color that I can wear. I can wear this kind of bright pinky color. And I have no idea what project I bought it for. Isn't that sad? Again, I'm like, oh, there was this thing I was going to make with that. Specifically, bought this for it, and I'm not sure what it is now. And then I have one more thing. This is Classic Elite Soft Linen. And this you may see on the needles sooner than later, because this one I do know what I'm going to make, and it's a little vest type thing, which won't take very long to make. And I'm really into the purples, as you can tell. Purple, red. I can wear jewel tones very easily, so I tend to stick with those, but sometimes I get bored and I'll get something else. But for the most part, what else was I going to show you? I think that might be it. That might be it. Okay, so, shoot. Sorry. Now I totally lost my train of thought, and I was going to say something. I know I still have the meditation tip to do, and it's not something, I'm going to work on that for this weekend. That will probably be a good goal for me. And Buddy, come say hello. Want to say hi to Buddy? He misses you guys. A healthy tip. I've gone back onto the juices again, and I didn't do them when I was in Italy. I bought a little thing, but I didn't do it but twice. It's so different over there. And so But here I find it very easy to do the juices and have that kind of lifestyle here and go to the gym. I went to the gym yesterday, first time back. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. Okay, so this is a healthy exercise tip. For those of you who even have any type of thyroid issues or hormonal imbalances, excessive cortisol may not be your friend. And so when you exercise heavy, it can bring about making more cortisol. Hi, buddy. So burst training is something. Ooh, sorry, Oh, look, hang on. Can you see? There's Karina. Right there, little black one, who's now going, oh my God, I'm gonna leave. And Catalora was behind her. Anyway, okay. So burst training, where you work really hard for a very short period of time and then rest for a short period of time, can be very conducive to getting you a good amount of exercise but not raising your cortisol levels. When I started exercising again and I was running and I'm I'm like, why am I not losing any weight? I'm doing all this running. It wasn't working for me. It's raising my cortisol, which was not helping me at all. When I started just walking, that was perfect. But I'm at the gym and I want to raise my heart rate because I want to sweat, because I want to detox that way. And when you sweat, you remove toxins from your body. So not to overdo it, but I want to get a little bit of a sweat here. So I'm going in the mode that there's two ways I'm doing this. I'm doing the fat burning and I'm also doing burst training. So I'm alternating. I'm not doing burst training every day. One day is burst training. The next day I just go very consistently, not raising my heart rate over, well, for me, I think it was 130, something like that. So you keep it in a range where you're just burning fat, and then there's the burst training where you're going really hard for 30 seconds and then, or 20 seconds, and then slow down for 20 seconds. I have the Tabata thing on my phone. Oops, now I'm dropping everything. A little app on my phone that will beep to me. I can listen to music, but it'll beep